Hi everybody, Paul here from PTZOptics, and in this video, I'd like to share with you a case study from the Keys Vineyard Church in Big Pine Key, Florida. We're going to get a chance to look at their video production system, which uses vMix, PTZOptics cameras, ProPresenter, Resolume, and QLab to create a fully automated, incredibly easy to use live streaming system. Doug's going to take us through his full walkthrough of the audio and video, and then I'd like to show you a piece of video of the actual live stream from this system. So we're going to hear a worship song as well to really give you a good idea of what the system can do. Let's take a look.
Alexa, church lights on. Welcome to the Vineyard. Glad you could join us. We just got done with our worship set, and I thought I'd give you guys a quick tour of everything that's going on. So this is our broadcast room. We're running, some pretty standard software in here. We got ProPresenter 7 on there is doing our lyrics. We're running vMix is our live streaming software. What gets a little interesting is how we're running our audio for the broadcasts. We're using an Ableton Live template that we built. That's running here, and we use an app called Touchable to mix the volumes within Ableton. Lets us run some really cool plugins. Over here, we are using a custom-built computer that I assembled for Resolume, and this is actually our video switcher. And underneath that, you'll see QLab. And I can use QLab to control everything that we do at the church. I can run lights, I can run slides, I can run the video switcher, pretty much anything. I even have it controlling our Ableton session downstairs. But right here, we have this screen, and as you can see, I'm controlling the video mixer, and that'll switch between our 6 PTZOptics cameras that we're running. It'll also put ProPresenter on the screen, and we have a wireless HDMI camera setup that we run. We'll get to the cameras later. They're a great part of the setup. But we use that as a controller. If you come in here, like I had, you kind of saw earlier, I had Alexa. We have some smart switches where I have a few of the switches that are in an annoying place to get to on that, so I can just turn them on and off from my phone. But anyway, that's a great setup. We automate everything here. I use several programs to accomplish the automation. Ableton Live, which is downstairs, runs our tracks. We run multi-tracks. And I have that automating lyrics, I have that automating lights, it's automating our video switcher, it automates the streaming switching, and we also automate our cameras too with PTZOptics cameras. They're able to receive MIDI in several different ways. They have an amazing app that we helped develop with them a couple years ago. I've ended up using a different solution. It's over here on this Windows Surface. We can send a Visca message over IP address using BOEM MIDI translator and serial port redirector by Fabulatech. So that works out super nice. And that's our room up here. For MIDI communication, we use iConnectivity boxes. Our main audio face is Play Audio 12, and I have at least half a dozen MIDI 4+s hooked up in the whole system. They allow me to send MIDI over our Ubiquiti network. So I can just plug them into a switch that's in our network, and I have MIDI communication from in this room to Backstage. Also, we use the Behringer X32 racks ecosystem. We have 3 of those boards. You'll see 2 of them downstairs. We have one up here that's receiving the audio from downstairs. And we send that to Ableton, and Ableton goes into vMix via a UAD Aero audio interface that lets us run some mastering plugins on that too. So that's the broadcast room. I'll take you guys on stage and backstage. So this is a quick look at our wireless camera setup. You'll see some of the shots. We use this for the close-ups. We can get a nice stage shot. It's a good angle. It's a good complement to the PTZOptics cameras we have. We have 5 PTZ cameras that are in the auditorium. You'll see 1 over there on the stage, and we have 4 towards the back. There's 2 on the sides and 2 on the back walls, and I automate those 5 with the MIDI messages. And we're set up where I can use Ableton Live to automate the video switching. But from this station, we're also set up where we can run it manually if we want to. So a lot of times Kurt will be here, and we're using this Hollyland wireless HDMI, and this is a GH5, I believe. Kurt has some lens that I'm not familiar with, it's his lens. But if you look here, QLab lets you have several pages of cues called cue carts. And we have one called Kurt's board. This has video switching functionality, so I can switch between the cameras right from here. And we can load up all of our cameras. This is the wireless shot. You'll see this on the screens. And this is where he switches from. We also have this automation toggle. So I've set up a MIDI note that goes from QLab to Ableton that will trigger the video switching track. So when it's on, obviously automation still works and video switches will go as I've programmed in Ableton. We can press it, turn it off, and then Kurt can run manual controls. We're able to also switch presets from here. So I have this board called Camera Presets, and you'll see on the screen, I can press this shot and it'll change from there. And I can run multiple commands from here. So I need to go back to Kurt's board, and we could say go to back right, and we could change one of the shots there. So there's a lot of functionality here, right from an iPhone 5 that he's using to change the shots. So really cool setup. We're very happy with that. I'll take you to the stage next. So this is our stage. Probably the most noticeable thing are these LED walls. We're running Chauvet Vivid 4 panels. I couldn't tell you exactly how many we have right now, other than this many here, but they're great. Those are powered by a couple of the Chauvet scalers that are in the back room. On stage, we have a few cool setups. I really like the keyboard setup. Usually this laptop's running Sunday sounds, but we have it off for now. This is a Korg Kronos 88, and it's really cool. The most helpful thing I find for it, or what I like the most about it, is we put the keyboard on top of these adjustable desk legs. So now we can raise and lower it at the press of a button. And it's been super convenient for all of our keyboard players because they're all different heights. So now they can have it where they're most comfortable. We have a few presets on there, but I just wanted to show that off real quick. All of our stations have iPads running Planning Center music stand, and I can automate those via Ableton Live as well. So the chord chart changes happen precisely when they're supposed to, which is usually a measure before the page needs to turn. On my pedal board, I've also got set up a little disaster area DMC micro. I can manually change the pages there. And Planning Center has a feature that Bluetooth syncs all of those, but this is better because there's no latency between the iPads. They all change at the same time, and they get charged, which is cool. Also on my pedal board, I have an FC6 from Fractal Audio powering my Axe-FX 3. I have this Morningstar MC6 that I use is an Ableton foot controller. I have a Luna display iPad here that is running that, and I changed banks, but you'll see that moving forward. Underneath that is a QLab. We saw that upstairs. Another cool feature about QLab is they have a mobile remote app. It gives me all the functionality. So now from here, I can change the shots as well if I need to. I can advance Ableton non-linearly, which is cool. I can even adjust the lights right from here. We can dim the lights as we saw. I can bring them back. I can trigger preaching lights from here. So there's lots of cool stuff. Really happy with QLab there. I'll take you backstage, show you the rest of the setup, and that'll be it for us. So this is our drum room. You'll notice we have a drum camera shot. That's powered by a PTZOptics Z-Cam. This one has the lens built in. Paul was awesome. He sent that to me. Still very thankful for that. We use it. Here is our drum shot. Our drums have a cool setup. We have a DW Performance Series with some Evans heads. We found these, what are they, dream cymbals? We have several of those that we invested in not too long ago. There is an Alesis sample pad. That's running samples. It actually gets sent to a 4+, MIDI 4+ for my connectivity. That connects to the network, which talks to our main Ableton session, and we trigger samples from there. So we're not using any of the built-in sounds on there. We're using some splice samples for that. But that's our drum setup. I'll take you to the rack backstage. So here's our rack setup. And this rack was built late 80s, early 90s, which is why it's made out of 2x4s. It is what it is, but we have lots of cool equipment. Like I said, I'm running the Axe FX3. That's right here. We're using the X32 racks. What we do is we run everything into an S32 Snake from Behringer. That runs into our in-ear monitor board, which is this bottom one here. And then that will feed over the Ethercon cable to the front of house X32. And that runs into a red Clark Technique box that sends an Ethernet cable to our upstairs board upstairs. Obviously, it's upstairs board. It would be upstairs. You probably just edit it out. That was kind of dumb. And then we've also got going on, we're using Sennheiser wireless equipment. We got Sennheiser in-ears and Sennheiser wireless packs for our instruments. And the preaching mic is also on that. In the setup is the iConnectivity Play Audio 12. That's kind of the heart of the MIDI network that we've built here. That lets me run 2 laptops running the same Ableton session redundantly. So if anything were to happen to my first laptop, the second laptop picks right up where it left off. And with QLab, I can control both of those laptops at the same time. So when I press a button on QLab like you saw, or if I press my foot controller, it's controlling both of those laptops simultaneously. So that's the rack. There's some power conditioners, lots of good stuff. Back here is our rack setup. These computers are running the Resolume Arena instances that power the LED walls. We have one for just the back wall, and then we have one for the 2 side walls. It runs both of them at the same time. Those computers are at the very bottom. They're custom Resolume rigs. I used, one of them is like my old gaming computer setup, so I threw that in there. Another one is one of our old streaming setups, and Jerry, one of our keyboard players, actually gave me an old Quadro card that he had. So that's running the video for that. Towards the back, you'll see we're running Chroma Q Vista V3. That runs our lights. I can trigger that with Ableton or QLab. This computer here is running our vocal processing right now. We have some universal audio plugins on there that work really good. This is running an instance of ProPresenter 6. And this will actually put different graphics for the songs. So I can program a song in Ableton, and then I just drag that file over into a service set. The videos that I use for the walls for the songs come from this computer. For service elements like the sermon, I just use Resolume for that. These are our 2 Ableton laptops. And right now, the locators are in different spots because I used the keyboard shortcuts there. If I use QLab, I can sync them both at the same time. And if I were to trigger one, they launch at the same time. And if we're looking out in the room, I can unplug this one, and there was no signal loss. All my MIDI stuff continues to go. So that's been a great setup for us. I can stop that Ableton track there. And then if I want to bring back the announcements, I can do that. I hit welcome loop go. That sets the stage back, puts ProPresenter on. It actually brings up Spotify for us. So yeah, there's lots of cool stuff. I'd be happy to get to know you guys. If you want to message me, you can find me on Facebook. You can follow us on YouTube, the Keys Vineyard Community Church. And it was really great getting to spend some time with you. I'd like to give another shout out to Paul and the crew at PTZOptics. Thanks for this opportunity. Thanks for letting us hang out. And we'll see you guys soon. Enjoy. Let's sing. This is a new one for today. Anything is possible. There is no shadow that has ever overcome your light, and there is no rival that could ever stand against your might. You've always been with us. Every battle you've already won, oh, we've already won. And there is no weapon
name. A victory dance, I will dance out in faith. I will crush disappointment and break every chain. Oh, all of my fear I will turn into praise. Shake off despair as I sing out your name. A victory dance, I will dance out in faith. I will crush disappointment and break every chain. Oh, all of my fear I will turn into praise. Shake off despair as I sing out your name. A victory dance, I will dance out in faith. I will crush disappointment. Show me one thing he can't do. Show me a mountain he can't move. He's the God of the breakthrough, and anything is possible. Yeah. Show me one thing that's too hard. Show me waters he can't part. He's the God of the breakthrough, and anything is possible. Yeah. I search the world.
Wow. So Doug is going to be hopefully coming back to join us at Worship Summit Live 4.0 November 18th. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask Doug, I'm hoping that maybe he'll do another video for us and speak with us at Worship Summit Live. So comment below. That was a pretty cool setup. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care. Bye.